Let's start with earnings. Earnings season is still going on. The retailers are all reporting actually now. They're all on these fiscal calendars that come a month later, so they're all reporting. One that reported this morning was Penney. Penney's got more going on than just earnings. To tell us about it, Spencer Jakab, head of the tape columnist, is with us.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Spencer, how are you today?
How you doing?
All right. So Penney came out with their numbers.
Right.
Swung to a loss in the fourth quarter. But that is far from the whole story, right?
That's right. As a matter of fact, the earnings were not the story at all because you have Ron Johnson, this great new, or they hope great new CEO, came in from Apple, previously from Target, who worked miracles, especially at Apple. And he launched this revamp, which was supposed to start on February 1st, the day after this quarter ended. So what people were really curious about is not what happened in the past. They could have had much worse numbers than they were unlikely to. They gave guidance so recently. They were right in the middle of guidance, a little bit better on some, a little weaker on other numbers. They wanted to hear how February is shaping up so far, just a few weeks of data. And he was pretty hopeful, although he said customer numbers are down a little bit versus last February, but he's very confident they can hit their targets for 2012. Now the question is, what kind of, how close are they going to come to hitting their targets for 2015, which is when his plan is supposed to, come to fruition, and it's a pretty ambitious plan.
Yeah, and I've already seen on television, you see the new ads, very, hipsterish looking, almost Target-esque. You mentioned Target, So we're seeing the marketing aim of. I haven't been in a JCPenney store lately. I have no idea.
I haven't been in one in years.
This is, that says a lot, right? I see the ads, but I haven't been in a JCPenney store in years. A lot of people haven't. I think this is a. You have?
I have.
Well, then you tell us. You give us the report.
Oh,
the field report.
I was in there Christmas shopping, picked up a couple of things. It strikes me. I don't see what really differentiates JCPenney right now from, like, say, going into Target or a Macy's.
Right.
And so one of the things I'm curious about, there's been a lot of focus on the pricing strategy that they're going to use. And can you kind of...
Well, there was a really shocking stat that came out of their presentation. I had to do a double take and make sure it wasn't a typo, and it wasn't. He said in his presentation in December, by the way, or in January, in this presentation added about $1.4 billion to the value of JCPenney. Over the course of the two-day presentation to analysts. He said that 72% of their merchandise is sold at half or more off, and only 0.2% is sold at full price.
Wow.
But they want to change that, though, right?
Actually.
They want to change that.
And it just seems like with the current state of the consumer, I assume they're going to try to move a little bit more towards getting full price, or?
That's right. Well, they're going to have they have three pricing tiers, right? So they have the full price, they have the always on sale, and then they have the Friday promotion. So they're going to make it very, very transparent, and they hope that for two things. One, that'll attract people because it's not it's not sort of hit or miss. You come in and one thing's cheap and then you don't buy the more expensive thing. And the other thing is that will cut down on marketing expenses because they don't have to constantly do these promotions. And he compared them to Kohl's and Macy's. He said that they want to spend as little on SG&A, selling general and administrative, as Kohl's, which is a discounter below them really in the marketplace. But they want to spend as little on advertising as Macy's, which also spends less, doesn't have to spend as much as them because it's Macy's, it's not JCPenney.
I want to pull up the stock chart here before we let you go. I want everyone to see what the stock's doing today. So, down, the market did not not in love with what they saw this morning.
Well, listen. This thing has outperformed so dramatically in the last 4 to 5 months. Ever since he was hired,
and you can see
especially since he gave his presentation
over the last year.
I guess the big question, though, is will investors have enough patience for the next 3 years until this thing really comes to full fruition?
You know what? I think he's got a great pedigree, but he's not selling iPads and iPhones. Okay, he's selling selling stuff that JCPenney sells. Obviously they have Land's End and they have Martha Stewart now that they lured away. But you're still, it's JCPenney. Okay, so he's got a great pedigree. I think he deserves some benefit of the doubt, but that's all priced in right now. I would not buy it now after the it's all priced in. If it sells off again and you start to see signs that he's working his magic, then maybe you'll have a second crack at it if you weren't in there already.
It's like Peyton Manning going to the Redskins.
Right. Something like that.
Something like that. All right, Spencer Jakab, thank you very much, sir.